People used to think this song. What do they say, Michael? Something salads, and they always misunderstood the lyrics to the song. I'm like, it's literally in the title of the song.
Welcome to Church Jams Now, the podcast where three former youth group kids and current music nerds deep dive into Christian music from the 90s and 2000s. I, of course, am your co-host, Kylan Savage. With me, as always, is Mr. TJ Smith.
Hey, man. I am nuts about tonight's episode. Can I just say that?
Yeah. Wow. Starting off with an off-mic reference. I love that.
Yep.
That's the first steps to recovery, though. As a podcast host.
It's true.
Well, I'm here to give him a taste of his own medicine. We also have beautiful producer Josh Olson.
Hey guys, you guys may feel oceans away, but you know what? I'm glad we can all be here tonight virtually to talk about this record.
For sure. I feel like we can really speak easy with the guests we have tonight. To everyone here, I'm hoping we get the real version of you. So, of course, we are joined by two returning guests and one new guest. We have from American rock band Chasing Victory, Adam and Michael, and we're joined by Jason. We lost Chris. I guess he did it the one time and said no thank you. This was not for him.
But he got canceled.
He didn't want to talk about the record he's playing bass on.
Oh no.
Just guitar.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Well, maybe we upgraded. We'll see.
We told him only guitarists.
Yeah. Only guitarists.
Yep. Oops, all guitarists.
By Jason. Thank you, gentlemen. Welcome back to Church Jams Now. And Jason, welcome for the first time to Church Jams Now.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
Glad to be here, guys. Thank you for the invitation.
Yeah, I mean, I had no part in it, but I was just as surprised as you were that you were invited back on. Thank you, guys. We've talked about this on the show. So Michael and Adam, the last time you guys were here, I feel like you guys really got the vibe of the show. And I do find, because like shit talking is my love language, anytime we have like returning guests, it feels like you guys are like really friends. And so I do kind of up.
He's extra punchy, usually, is what he's trying to say.
It gets a little gets a little more intense on your return visit.
No worries. You
cannot go easy on me.
Yeah, it's your first time.
Ease Jason into it. Yeah,
yes, yes, sir, Mr. Lowery. Thank you so much for being on our show.
Appreciate it.
So, Josh, what are we doing?
Well, we're talking about a record tonight.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Yes, we are.
I wasn't sure if that's what we were doing.
Yeah, we are.
Great.
We are doing that. But I know last time we did this episode, when we covered Fiends, we were trying to go through it a little bit quickly, and I know we didn't do like kind of proper introductions. I don't know if we want to like maybe do that a little bit this time, if we can do some brief proper introduction, some backgrounds on the folks here, especially since we got Jason. So we could do that.
That would be
we
great.
Could get into some research and then talk about the record.
Yeah. Okay. So the three of you guys, one thing we like to ask guests a lot is I'm fascinated by origin stories, right? So our show is about quote unquote Christian music from the 90s and 2000s. And, you know, that was the music that we were all sort of raised on. But I would love to get from the three of y'all, like, what sort of music did you grow up listening to? What was the first record you bought? And then how did you get involved in the quote unquote Christian music scene? Like, how did Chasing Victory start? So let's start with like childhood, and then we'll get into forming Chasing Victory, if that's cool with y'all. Who would like to go first? Just know
Michael texted me privately and said he wanted to go first.
Oh, perfect.
That sounds right.
Yes,
That does sound right.
Got those quick thumbs.
That's definitely on point. Yeah, that's it. So, talking about first records purchased or kind of what we were into personally. So I remember really getting into music pretty early. My mom and dad were big like Bonnie Raitt and the Eagles and Daryl Hall and Hall and Oates and all that kind of stuff. And so I really enjoyed that kind of stuff. And so eventually I kind of morphed into the, what was big at the time, which was, Matchbox 20 and all that kind of stuff. And then eventually, which I still play it today. We actually listened to it this past weekend on the way to my 9-year-old's softball game was $3 Bill Y'all by Limp Bizkit. So, and all the explicit parts had to turn the radio down real quick, then turn it back up. And we were jamming out.
So pretty much the whole album.
I know that's on a Limp Bizkit record. That's a lot of. You're gonna break the knob off your volume.
Yeah. So $3 Bill Y'all, Limp Bizkit, and then Korn, of course, and then
whoa,
yeah, and then eventually it turned into Matt, who was our manager, and he also played bass a little bit on this record. I think he played a couple of songs, and he definitely helped write the bass parts on this record a decent amount, and was touring with us for a little bit, kind of as a fill-in while we tried to figure out what we were doing. As far as a bass player goes, he actually took me to my first concert, underground concert, and it was in Bainbridge, Georgia, and it was Ludacris and Evergreen Terrace. And wow. I had a ball. I think I was in 7th grade.
Now, you're talking about Ludacris.
Yeah, can you explain which Ludacris?
Break down Ludacris for the ones that don't know out there.
Yes. So, Norma Jean used to be Ludacris, Lutikriss. And so that's kind of where it all started for me, was going to Ludacris and Evergreen Terrace and being like, what in the world? And then getting into Zayo and that sort of thing. And so it all kind of morphed into now. I would say up until, especially for Abandonment, that time in our lives, I would say that the heavy influence was probably from me, because that's what I was into, old Comeback Kid, and then eventually Most Precious Blood, and then kind of morphed into all of that, and I just really loved that stuff. And I think I kind of brought some of the heaviness to the picture, and Jason was a gigantic part in having a melody to, not just chugs and breakdowns and weird noises. So that's kind of where I come from.
I love that.
Nice.
All right. Well, since you were mentioned, Jason, would you like to go next?
The yin to Michael's yang.
Yeah.
So I mean,
the pecan to his peanut. Sorry, I know Adam.
Yes.
Wait.
We're gonna have so many nut references in this show, and people are gonna be confused.
Let's milk the nut joke as much as we can.
So you work in nut milk? Is that what I'm hearing, Adam?
We make a nut milk.
All right. Glad we cleared the air. Good to know.
Nuts don't have nipples, but you can milk them.
Oh my god. It's already going off the rails. Thank you, gentlemen. Jason. Okay, how did you get involved with these fools?
So I'm one of the guys from the kind of original South Georgia squad. Where we started out, and we started in high school. I was probably 9th grade, but I first started really getting into music in middle school, just actually kind of forming my palette of what I love and not just what's on the radio, I guess, sort of thing. And for me, it was Jimmy Eat World was kind of my first ever favorite band, and they to this day I pretty much claim them as one of my all-time favorites. And so as Michael kind of alluded to, I'm more of the poppy guy. I like a lot of pop punk from the 2000s and stuff like that. And I think the first CD I bought was a lit CD.
Nice. Yeah.
Whatever year that was. Definitely middle school. But anyway, we would all hang out every day, and we all had our own different kind of unique styles, and we kind of brought it all to the band, and it kind of became this like what it is, a lot of heaviness, a lot of poppiness and stuff like that. So that kind of gives you a glimpse into why it's like that. And so we have some polarity, and we like to mix it up. And so, but yeah, I mean that, and I think maybe this is a random story, but one of the first CDs that my brother Jeremy, the drummer, I couldn't make it tonight. We got I think I may have been in fifth grade, but we bought this Alanis Morissette album, and I like learned all the words. I think to this day I still know all the words.
Yeah, that's what's
amazing.
Just it hooked me, and yeah, fifth grader. But anyway, that was I don't know that shaped anything.
No, I can
really
fully hear
yeah.
the Morissette references. I can hear the Morissette influence throughout the first record, for sure.
You, I don't know. That's so good.
No, that is good.
Jason, I do want to know, what is your favorite Jimmy Eat World record?
Great question.
Ooh, I know.
I would guess...
Definitely Clarity.
I would guess Clarity, but...
Well, it's got to be Clarity.
Yeah, it's got to be Clarity.
If you're a white man who plays music of a certain age, it has to be Clarity. It's
no,
just like
this
it's
is
a
how
prerequisite.
you can tell who a Jimmy Eat World fan is, because all the Jimmy Eat World fans say Clarity, and all the people like me say like Futures.
Futures. Yeah, well, that's me. That's me. You and me, Adam.
There's nothing wrong with saying Futures.
I mean, it's a close. I mean, obviously the first three were, or not the first three, but Clarity and Bleed American.
Right.
Were my top three.
Killer.
Yeah, I mean, they have to be.
As long as those are your top three, that's all that matters. Yeah,
it doesn't matter what order.
It doesn't matter what order.
That's very gracious of you.
That really is.
That's just how good that band is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a super fan. I'm a fanboy. So
there you go.
Always have been.
Nice.
Respect.
Sweet. That's awesome. Okay, Adam. I guess we have to ask you the same questions. We have to give you the same platform we gave the other guys, in the essence of fairness.
Buckle up, because I got a saga for you. Now, I kind of think about my childhood in two different stages, because I lived half of my childhood with my mom, and then lived the other half with my dad. And I lived the first part with my mom, and my mom was very conservative Christian, but she was also a very talented musician. She's an incredible singer. And she started singing when she was a kid with my grandparents' like gospel group. And so she was in gospel trios and quartets her whole life. And I'm sorry for this noise that keeps going off. Somebody's going in and out of my house. So I grew up around a lot of like Southern gospel and bluegrass and stuff like that when I was a kid, but I absolutely despised it. And so as soon as I could as soon as I found rock music, because I had older brothers, I was the youngest, and they they were really into it. My oldest brother was about 8 or 9 years older than me, so he really went into like the grunge era. Huge Pearl Jam fan, Nirvana, Soundgarden. He hated STP for some reason, but I love STP. But all that stuff came from my older brothers, just really soaking up the 90s. And I think Jason and Michael would probably agree with this. In our town, we both all come from a small town. So like the radio stations back then wore out the grunge era, and so it probably created a little bit of like hatred for it, but I still I plowed through. Like I still loved it despite the overplaying. But so that was kind of my early influence. I would sneak like 9 Inch Nails albums into my house and hide CDs behind like my Carmen CD.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Those are my favorite kind of stories.
I remember doing that when I was pretty young, actually. So, I mean, I was born in 85, and I think 9 Inch Nails was putting out records in the late 80s. I don't know when their first really big one was, but I had it. My older brothers had it. I remember my older brother bought me like an Ice Cube CD one time when I was in like the 5th grade. Made me the coolest kid in 5th grade for a long time.
Nice.
So I listened to a lot of hip hop, and then Matt Grogan, who Michael talked about, he definitely had a big effect on me musically, because he started sharing. He could tell I was into heavier music, but mostly mainstream stuff. I was really into Incubus, Deftones, POD, whatever was on the radio at the time. And he started sharing with all of us, some more underground music like Ludacris and Living Sacrifice and Zayo and some of the early Tooth and Nail and like Solid State artists.
Right.
And so we really loved those guys. But then we all started listening to, like I'm trying to think of the record labels that were putting out such good music back then. Vic,
Solid State.
yeah, Victory, Face Down. We kind of gravitated to a lot of these record labels that were just putting out, similar bands. I remember Michael and me and another guy, Taylor Sullivan, that was our bass player at the time, skateboarding to Comeback Kid for hours and just on loop. And that was in 9th, 10th grade, or 10th or 11th grade, maybe. But yeah, started getting introduced to. I was kind of the person that bridged the gap a little bit in the band because I kind of like a lot of stuff. I like heavy music. I like melodic stuff. I liked a lot of the emo music, a lot of the screamo music. I was a big Thursday fan for a long time.
Yeah.
The Used. This was like pretty early on in high school, and then and then when we went on tour, I kind of stopped listening to heavy music, and I would listen to like Sarah McLachlan and the band Isley and
Nice.
just a lot of like very chill music. I guess because we were playing, so many
When you're
heavy.
playing heavy music, you don't
balance it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just kind of needed a break from it when we were in the van and stuff. But another kind of turning point for me musically was meeting Brad, the guy that ran our record label. He had just this monstrous collection of music, and this was when burning CDs was still a thing. And I just remember we were recording some music with him, and I spent hours and hours for days going through his CD collection and burning everything he had into my computer. And
Nice.
I mean, it was just everything from hip hop to R&B to pop music to the Goatee Records catalog. I mean, it was just and so I don't know. I kind of just have like a weird plethora of music. I am still a little picky. Anyways, that's pretty much my influence. I think I might have said this the last time we had this podcast, but I would say I'm probably like Deftones is my top favorite band of all time. Cave In might be a close second. So yeah, just kind of like I love like when a heavy band can just put together interesting albums and just consistently good songs.
Yeah. I love
Now I have to
that.
ask, do you like the new Deftones record?
I was gonna ask that. Damn it, Josh.
Sorry.
I think all of us have been jamming it a pretty good bit. I don't think they're putting out like their best music right now, but considering like their age, and I think it's a great album. Like to me, it still sounds relevant. Some great songs on it. Like everybody seems to be still putting in a lot of effort. Abe Cunningham's drumming is still phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like he's one of my favorite drummers of all time. So yeah, I love it. It's not my top 5 or anything like that, but I like it a lot.
Nice.
What about you guys? Be honest.
I've never been a big Deftones guy, but it's been a weird year for music for me in terms of new releases. So
We'll
a
pray
lot of
for you.
like a lot of things are falling into my top 10 kind of by default. I think it might be up there. It might be up there.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's the most I've ever listened to Deftones, but I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
I think I might have. I can't tell. I can't remember. I can't remember yesterday, honestly. But my first big concert that I really remember, other than Quad City DJs, was the Deftones, and it was Incubus opened up for them at I want to say the University of Florida, like a gymnasium there, auditorium there at University of Florida. It absolutely blew my mind. And when Deftones came out, it was kind of my first experience seeing like a huge rock band put on an incredible show. And it was definitely a moment where I said, yeah, like I freaking want to do that.
Right.
Like that is amazing. Like that's what I want. So that they were a big turning point for me. So I just kind of have like an affinity for them,
Yeah. No, I get that. I love that. All right. Gentlemen, we are going to ease into my favorite part of the show. This is Josh's research corner. The reason why it's my favorite is because he's going to give us some context about the record that we're going to cover. And because you gentlemen are here, if he gets anything wrong, please let us know. So then we can deal with it on the back end, our HR department. It's a whole thing. We'll file some complaints, but
lots of disciplinary measures.
Yes, exactly.
We don't want to get into it here.
No, exactly. Yeah. No,
we'll just loop us in, and we'll follow back with you
guys. Okay, that's perfect. All right, this is Josh's research corner. It's a brand new theme song we have.
It is.
I dig it.
Well, once again, I'm pulling straight from the source material, so I invite you to bring any critiques to my research. But of course, Chasing Victory on this record is kind of fun. On this record, it seems like we get everyone in the band because, of course, we have Adam on vocals, Michael on guitar, Jason on guitar, Jeremy on drums, Cargyle on bass, and then he has some guitar credits as well. And then we get Crutch on one song, so kind of get the whole band encompassed on this one record. I always like looking at the publishing names. And y'all have some good, fun publishing names. So I've written them out here. You can either tell me who did it or just chuckle at them. But someone's on Abandonment, it says, look at this huge publishing. But on Fiend, it says, look at this huge pile of publishing. So I don't know if there's a misprint or if you adjusted the name. But Adam is claiming that one. Very nice. Who is Must Be Burt Reynolds Music?
That's me.
Okay. We Ain't Got No Music.
That's me.
Okay. I Bleed Music.
Jeremy, gotta be.
Yeah, that's Jeremy, I think.
Okay. Your Love Is Like Bad Music.
Matt.
That's gotta be Matt, yeah.
Okay, and then Jean Shorts and Fanny Pack Music.
Cargyle.
Cargyle.
That's
awesome.
a good one.
That tracks.
That's a real good one. Well done, Cargyle. Well done.
Well, the only reason I used that one is because I Need to Shave My Publishings was taken.
Who took that one?
Yeah.
Toby
Good
Mac.
question.
Toby.
Probably.
That's good. That's real good. So, of course, the record we're talking about tonight is I Call This Abandonment for its 20th anniversary.
Whoa.
It was released on October 4th of 2025. It was y'all's first LP. It was released on Mono versus Stereo, which shout out to Brad Moist, whom, if you're listening to this, I do know I need to get back to you about having you on the show. Sorry it's been so long.
Sorry, Brad.
But yeah. No, we had AJ from House of Heroes on. We're having all these Mono versus Stereo people on. I'm like, I need to get back to Brad. So my bad, Brad.
He is a great podcast guest to have.
Mm-hmm.
We look forward to it.
Knows all the music. It was produced, engineered, and mixed by Nathan Dantzler, who we talked about on the Fiends record. Awards and performance. I saw that it was nominated for a Dove Award for Rock Album of the Year, but lost to unfortunately. Tough competition.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
It's a good one, though.
Yeah, good one. The runtime is 11 songs at 38 minutes and 32 seconds. And we normally finish this up by talking about the artwork. And I would love to know kind of how y'all arrived at the artwork and just that whole process.
Well, Jason had really been sculpting his abs, and we wanted them on the album. So
I mean, if you look like that, you got to be on the album cover.
And Adam had all the snakes because of his Pentecostal background.
Yeah.
Sounds like a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
Peanut butter and jelly.
I had the drawer.
You just did the photo
Yeah,
shoot. Just put it together yourself.
You guys just all showed up to the photo shoot that day. Just like,
Really
I got
teamed
these
up.
snakes. Oh, I have this drawer. I got these
I got some sick abs.
Let's see if we
go.
can make
You
some
call
magic.
Brian Clark. You're like, we don't even need you to make the cover. We got it, man.
Oh, that's funny.
Good question.
Honest to goodness, guys, there was an artist that did a lot of artwork for a lot of album covers at that time. And we gave him we gave him I think we gave him some ideas of what we wanted, some concepts, what the album concept was about. And ultimately he just did his thing. And I mean, I think I remember, Michael, you may correct me, Jason, like I think it was one of those things when we saw it immediately, we were like, oh my gosh, yes. Like that.
Yeah.
We have no notes.
It was
Like
the
it was
last thing I expected.
yeah, it was a slam dunk. And it was in the style of what was cool, like really popular back then, that very sleek, like just real picture of something kind of abstract. And so it was really cool. Like it blew us all away.
Sweet.
Yeah,
I
I
love
bet.
it.
It's very cool. It's very
Who
kind of
could see
similar
that
to what
coming?
he was doing on the the Aftermath artwork, but obviously very different.
Yeah, and his name is escaping me. I'm sorry, but I'm terrible with names.
Well, it was Asterisk Studio, so I'm assuming it was either Ryan or Don Clark or
Yeah.
Chris McCadden or something like that. That was also working there.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
none of
Ryan
that.
Clark sounds like the guy.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Or
Josh.
Greg Lutzy or something. Also, I know he also worked there, so could have been one of those guys. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we can't really. We do our own artwork these days. Chris Cargile does our artwork right now, but we can't really take much credit for it back then.
That makes sense. That makes sense if he's doing it.
yeah, Mr. Jean Shorts and Fanny Pack music. Yep.
Have you guys seen any of the artwork we've been putting out?
No,
The newer
I
stuff?
actually haven't.
Unlike your EP
Like
or
Instagram.
On our Instagram page, and like we've been putting out some new artwork.
the Beatles one. I saw the Beatles one. Yeah.
You should see the ones that we haven't put out.
Send them our
All
way.
right. Yeah, send them our way.
Yeah, I was gonna say that wraps up my research. I did throw in a fake fact in there, and no one called me on it. So
What? Whoa, Josh! This is a big wrinkle.
Gotcha journalism in reverse.
it was the Dove Award.
I was like,
Oh, that sounded kind of weird.
That surprised me. I was like, I gotta go tell my wife.
Wow, Josh! What is this?
Sneaky.
What is this sassy Josh?
I thought we could have a little fun with our returning guests, and no one called me on it. I just threw something out there. I was like, "You can call me on this," but no one did.
my face was just like,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I saw Michael kind of thinking about it.
first I've heard, but okay.
The Dove Awards just aren't real anyway, so it's just like,
yeah, you wouldn't.
I was
know.
just like, yeah, that tracks.
We were crushing it back then.
So you're saying the album isn't even good enough for a real award?
Well, I mean, if you had to lose to any album, at least it's So I mean,
yeah,
that's true. I can't fault you for that.
If you had to lose a fake award to
I was even like, that's a good
That's wild. Josh, I love that. Wow, this is a whole new...
that was fun.
Gotta start keeping people on their toes.
Yeah. I was
20
ready to do the rest of this show on autopilot, but you seem to be on track. All right.
Ready.
Keep me on my toes. All right, gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we are going to go track by track through the album I Call This Abandonment by American rock band Chasing Victory. Guys, I have two questions for you. Do you like 1984?
Yes.
Good year, right? Yeah.
Great year. Do you like
Right
Blade
before
Runner?
Back to the Future came out?
No, that was 85.
I know, it said right before Back to the Future.
Oh, right
came out.
before. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, I was so prepared to take you down.
I know my ears.
You know your years. This ad is off to a great start. If you like Project 86 and you want more of that sweet P86 on vinyl, guess what? Their newest, is it their newest album they've done?
They do, yeah. It is their newest.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they did part 2, so it's maybe their
Right.
second newest.
Their second newest album, Omni, which was really cool. I remember when that came out. They have it on vinyl. They have a double vinyl of it on Collide Records. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Nice.
And it's on sale. And it's cookies and cream. It's black and white swirl, which is delicious. Don't take a
Ooh,
bite out of it.
tasty.
Nope. Don't do that.
Oh, okay.
It's just for your ears.
It's such a,
Alright.
the type of pressing, it's such a tasty pressing for something that's a very stark and bleak record, you know? But
That's
maybe
true.
that's
Yeah, that
the
is a little weird.
juxtaposion there, you know?
Strange.
Yeah.
Paradox.
But okay, it's on sale. But guess what? You don't even have to pay the sale price if you don't want to. Do you know why?
Why?
You can get a sale on a sale. if you use your fingers.
That's like a hat on a hat, Kylan.
I know, and you know how much we love a hat on a hat.
Those.
Here at Church Gyms Now. We love a hat on a hat and a sale on a sale. So if you use your fingers, type in promo code Church Gyms Now at checkout, guess what? You'll get 20% off your entire purchase.
Cookies.
Don't eat them. Don't do it. Just listen. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed those ads as much as we enjoyed making them. We are still joined by 3 members of the band Chasing Victory, talking about I Call This Abandonment. So we usually save this section for like general thoughts on the album, but I would like to ask the 3 of y'all, what was your headspace at going into recording this album? Like, what were you guys feeling? What were you expecting the album to be? Before we get into like more personal sort of like nitty gritty stories, like what were you guys thinking about going in to make this record? Not all at once, please.
I can see Michael forming a thought.
He's probably
Smoke
texting
was
you
coming
again
out of his
saying, let me
ears.
go first.
Yeah.
My thought was, I wonder if Adam's going to go first on this. Honestly, during that time, I didn't really think about a whole lot other than just having fun. I didn't really have any kind of preconceived notion of anything. If I remember right, I was just, obviously extremely excited to be putting out a full length album on a record label. I was 17 at the time, I think. Were we 17?
I think you were maybe 18, 19.
I might have been 18. Yeah, I was 18. Yeah, I'm actually closer to Jason's age than I am the rest of the guys. But I was 18. Just full of vim and vigor, and
There you go.
just wanting to hang out, have a blast. I remember, going to Nathan's house, which is where we recorded the whole album. I remember Adam breaking his handrail and clogging up his toilet.
No, that was a
no,
different.
that was somebody else. That was somebody else.
I didn't clog up his toilet. I clogged up Lucio's toilet.
That's right, Leon.
Okay, but can we talk about breaking the handrail?
Yes. So when we got there, we did like pre-production practice or whatever, and Nathan basically just listened to us practice and kind of just pulled stuff together. I remember his carport had like a basement connected to it, and it had like wrought iron handrails going down the steps. And so we loaded all our equipment into the basement. So whenever it was time to record, we loaded out of the basement and into the house. So in the middle of all that, there was an accident.
Uh-oh.
I mean, it's not really that big of a deal.
Well, it seems like that big of a deal. You seem to be trying to put a spin on this.
Handrail is an old iron handrail, and I'm carrying like a Marshall cab 412
Oh, shoot.
by
It didn't
myself.
stand a
I'm
chance.
assuming, and I grab the handrail, and I just fall.
Oh, no.
And the handrail came with me, and I tried to put it back up, and it was one of those "what'd you do" type of situations when he goes to grab his handrail. It was not a good start to our getting to know Nathan Dantzler.
To be fair, you were asking it to do the one job a handrail's supposed to do. So,
To be fair,
yeah.
I was carrying somebody else's guitar case.
You said Marshall,
Oh,
so that means it was Jason's.
Jason,
That's great.
do you have a rebuttal?
Yeah, so actually, that album, recording that album was the last thing I did in Chasing Victory before I left to go to college. I was the one that I had to drop out of high school to go on tour. I was a year younger than them, and when they graduated, it was the same year we got signed to Mono versus Stereo, and so I had to make that decision to be replaced or go on tour, and so I did that for a year, and then leading up to recording in the summer of 2005, that was basically when I had to make that decision, and I ended up going to college. And but yeah, that was the most meaningful experience. Michael's giving me a thumbs down because made the weird decision to choose education over.
I do have to ask, as someone who did the inverse of this, who dropped out of college to be in a band, how do you feel about that decision now?
Oh, I mean, no regrets. I ended up going.
Stay in school, kids.
Yeah, definitely. I dropped out just because it was such a unique situation, and my parents were totally on board, and they knew I worked hard for it, and they knew the possibility of going to college was still there, but I enjoyed what would have been my senior year, like on tour. It was really fun. So,
I mean, that's way better than senior year of high school.
Exactly.
Hot take.
Yeah.
Being in a band, recording an album and touring, a little bit cooler than having to do e-commerce or whatever.
Just a little bit. I would like to ask, because y'all did the A Not So Tragic cover-up EP just a year prior. So this record came out barely a year after that one. So I'm assuming, did you guys write all these songs and record all these songs within a year? And then I was curious if you considered re-recording any songs from there to use for the record, or you just were like, oh, we have 11 brand new songs, we'll just use all these.
We did consider using songs, but Brad pushed us to continue writing, and we were in a groove. I mean, we were, having Cargyle transitioning in, and Matt transitioning out, but Matt was still around because he was managing us. We just kind of had like a lot of people that were just pumping ideas, and Jason was a writing machine, and I was really loving Chasing Victory at the time. I just felt like we were hitting a stride with music, and so I just think we were all writing a lot back then. It seemed to be coming very naturally. I don't really think we thought about it much. It was just kind of one of those situations like if we weren't touring, we were writing and practicing. We set up a lot at Michael's family went to First Baptist Church of Camilla, and we would set up a lot at the First Baptist Church. What do you call it, Michael? The
Fellowship Hall.
Fellowship
Hall, yeah.
And we could jam out there. It was in the middle of downtown, which pretty much shut down after like 8, 9 o'clock. We could go 8, 9 o'clock and jam out all night long if we wanted to and not disturb anybody. And we did. I mean, we did it a lot. And Jason, we wrote most of Abandonment in that Fellowship Hall, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And so, it's just we had a lot of people contributing, and then Jason had announced prior to going into the studio that he was going to be going to college, and so Crutch was coming in. Chris was moving to guitar. Chris wrote the real version of you. Like he came in just firing hot with like great guitar riffs that became songs, and so we were just kind of all firing on all cylinders. And in terms of me, like I got accepted into the University of Georgia and didn't go. Like decided to do Chasing Victory instead. So I was all in. Like I pretty much decided like I'm doing it. So going into doing Abandonment, I was freaking pumped. And getting a real studio experience with a real engineer who was like, not just we were paying by the hour to just track our songs, but he was contributing to our album and really helped transform us as a band. Like I kind of thought those things would happen going into it, but it was way more than I expected. Like he was so freaking good at it. So for me, I was thrilled to go into the album to do Abandonment.
Yeah, he definitely, I think, brought out your voice like in such an amazing way on that album. That was the first time I've ever heard your voice like that, and ever since then, it's like it's been that way. So I mean, he definitely was an amazing producer, and contributed to all things, not just vocals, but
yeah. That I was thinking about earlier, like without Dan's for producing Abandonment and then things like what would our trajectory be if somebody else had produced it. I don't know how different it would be, but it feels like it would be very different because he was very influential in his thought process and what he was trying to mold.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the difference between the EP and Abandonment, a lot of that is Danzler.
Yeah. Because you think, I mean, we recorded that EP in June of 05. No, when did we record that?
04.
June of 04. We recorded it in June of 04, and then we recorded Abandonment in June of 05. I mean, and just that 1 year difference, like, it's just bananas.
No, it's a jump.
Yeah.
Sweet. I love that. So, at the risk of sounding oceans away, let's go ahead and get into the track list with track number 1, Oceans Away.
Meet me at the shore. I shouldn't be afraid. I've got a feeling way to set tonight. And then let it rain this way.
Man, you gotta love a record like this that starts out with the vocal, right? Like just hitting you in the face.
Like Emery's Walls. Like you gotta pay attention immediately. Someone just yelling at you.
Grabs you.
Yeah, we love that getting shot out of the cannon, way to start a song. Like,
Totally.
We try to write these intros and kind of pussyfoot around getting into a song, and by the end of it, we're like, you know what? Let's just play the daggum song, cut all that, And every time we do record some long intro, we always end up hating it later. I know I do.
Yeah. And it's fun. I mean, it definitely is a testament to how strong that kickoff is, because even when we play live shows, it's the first song. Like, stand there, feedback, and then Adam starts the whole set. So it has stood the test of time.
Yeah.
And it's got a great chorus that's just fun to sing along to.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it's still top on Spotify too. So it's like that opener, that everybody.
Yeah, it still is barely above Guardian Angel, but yeah, it's still.
I think that jumped it recently, but I don't know why I keep up. But
I keep up with the stats. Yeah.
Analytics guy.
So where in the songwriting process for this album did this song come out? And then when did you guys decide that like this is going to be the opener of the record?
I think we actually had the beginning of it written first, right? The Meet Me at the Shore was that always the beginning of it?
I think so.
The verses, it kind of started with the verses. In fact, I remember vividly writing this with Michael in your attic, and I don't know, a lot of details. I won't go into it about that night. Just it's kind of one of those things where you a lot of times I can remember exactly where I was, and it was 20 years ago, or like I'm sure Michael and Adam, same thing. It's fun to think about, but like Mike and I were in those little bar stool chairs.
Oh yeah,
just jamming out this verse.
I remember that.
Well, by ourselves, and that's kind of how it began. And then it didn't take long, like for Jeremy and Adam and everybody to come in and but like that kind of the staple beginning, Meet Me at the Shore. I honestly, that's the only part I don't personally remember when that happened, but like it was kind of like one of those things where it was, yeah, that's it. That's obvious. Like that's perfect.
Which technically that song does start off with the verse musically.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that now that you mentioned it, Jason, us sitting on those bar stools and trying to figure out the harmonizing parts.
Yeah.
And then like the second verse is basically the first verse. It's just a different variation, less octaves, more single string. Yeah. I Adam kind of brought it up as a good sing-along song, that chorus. So when we play that chorus live, I can kind of gauge the crowd because I play the down chorus toward the end. And there's a lot of times, and it's a couple of different songs too, that if I'm gauging the crowd, like when we played at Furnace Fest, and you could hear the crowd singing over Adam.
Nice.
we would get to a down part, I just wouldn't even play. it would just be all crowd vocals.
Those vocals, yeah.
Oh yeah,
those moments are so good.
That. Oh yeah,
when you can just like trust them that they're gonna fill in the gap, and you can just hand it over, and then they hand it right back to you, and you just launch from there. It's the best.
Yeah. It's almost like as a band, you give the audience your unrequited love.
Oh no, it's too soon.
What? No, too soon. Oh, I'm sorry, Josh. All right, what else do you have to say?
I mean, this is of course the origin story for the zombie pirates that we get on Fiends. And I did want to also mention, I like that. Like you go into the falsetto here. It's real brief on the chorus though, Adam. But like there are those little moments you go into falsetto like here, and then a couple other songs that like are like the building blocks for like what you would really like do, like take off vocally on Fiends. But it's cool getting those moments here, being like, oh yeah, that's the start of it. But it's not,
little glimpses of like that Fiends sound.
Yeah.
Here. While this record obviously stands on its own 2 feet and is its own thing, it's cool to see those pieces kind of like being put together
for sure
in real time.
You see that aspect more fully developed and later.
Yeah.
Right.
I do remember the chorus of this song being something totally different. And I think I tried to discuss this with you guys, but nobody else remembered it. But we played a homeless shelter. Do you guys remember that in Ohio?
Ohio, yeah.
I think that was the first night it was kind of like a charity show for just like whoever was trying to get out of the cold that night. And we played this show, and it was the sweetest people running this place. But I just came to the guys and I was like, look, nobody here knows who we are. Can I just try out this new chorus on this song that we've been playing on tour? And I think that was the first time I tried it, and you guys were like, holy, like even live, you could kind of feel like it was and that was the only time in Chasing Victory I think I ever did something like that where I went off script of what we had been practicing.
That's cool.
But that was kind of where the falsetto, I think, had first developed, because when we originally wrote this song, the chorus was something completely different, and it was not catchy. It was not like a sing-along thing. And that's my biggest memory about the song. I can't remember when we originally wrote the music, because I didn't have anything to do with this one. That it was like, I think Jason, like he said, him and Michael just banged it out one night.
Mm-hmm.
No pun intended.
That's fun to hear, because it's like, it makes me wonder if there's like an alternate universe Chasing Victory out there where you didn't like call the audible, and if that song would have just stayed the way it
could have
was.
gotten cut from the album.
Right,
You're talking
exactly.
about Winter Solstice. Is that what you're talking about? But
What?
isn't that what the Hispanic band that covers all of the Chasing Victory songs? What was their name?
Wait, what?
Yes.
Winter of Summer, Summer of Winter.
Winter of Summer. What did I say? Winter Solstice.
Winter Solstice.
Come on, then.
Yeah. No. Yes.
Wait.
Winter
Okay.
of Summer.
Hold on.
Them
That's
on the
insane. Yeah, we need them to come on.
Yeah, I need some more context for this. I'm fully unaware of this.
You
talking
just
They're from Brazil, maybe? Is that who you're talking
are
about?
they? I don't know. I thought they were from Mexico.
They do Spanish versions of our song.
What?
Yeah.
Incredible.
That is awesome.
It wouldn't be
We need them
Brazil,
on the
because
show.
Brazil is Portuguese.
Portuguese. Wow.
Yeah, they do. There's one thing you can find it on YouTube, but it's like this one thing with them playing Ocean Away, and they're playing it acoustic, and he's singing like he's singing the chorus in English, and then the verses are in Spanish.
Wow.
Wild.
That's awesome.
Josh, why do
That's
we get these guys back? Why do we get those guys?
I know. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Missed
I would be
opportunity.
very interested to talk to them too.
Okay, no. Okay.
We'll have a supersode.
Honestly,
We'll have you all on.
let's do this. Let's make that happen. Let's get them on and you on. And we'll all just have like a round
An
table.
interpreter.
Yeah.
That's true. We would probably need that.
Wow.
Unless they're bilingual. Because, Josh, I feel like your Spanish chops might be decent.
I could get us halfway there, yeah.
You could get, okay.
Yeah.
Fuck
I could
you.
meet, I could meet them
Well,
at the shore.
it sounds like they've given you guys a lot of unrequited love.
Hey-o!
Sorry,
There we
Kyle.
go. I got
There
it back. Let's move on to track number 2, Unrequited Love.
I've been dreaming of elaborate schemes. Though the love was good for a while, it's been much easier to
I think this is my favorite song on the record.
Pretty cool.
This one goes hard. Oceans Away starts off pretty heavy, and then they're like, we're going to go even heavier on this one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ups the ante.
I will say, compared to Fiends, lyrically, this one's not as horny. Adam. I know we talked about that a lot on Fiends.
He's just horny.
But, you weren't
There's
married
still a
yet.
little horniness.
A little bit. It's not as horny.
It's a chub.
That's exactly how I've been describing this album in the group chat all week. No.
Must have missed that.
This song is great. I want to hear some stories about it from y'all.
I remember writing this one at the church.
Mm-hmm. Yep. This song was where we were experimenting with random A minor chords.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny because Oceans Away and this song always bookend our sets.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's cool.
This is another incredible crowd song.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Yeah, and that's, I think, one thing that I'm really starting to notice about this album is we kind of got a year of touring under our belt, and so we were writing a lot more for the live set, and we're spending so much time playing shows, like we were like, let's write more songs for this because this seems to be working live, and this was obviously this became probably our biggest live song, and it was really popular. Like in our hometowns, like this is just a crowd diving, rush the stage type of song. Like I don't even have to sing this song. I let everybody else sing this song. It's just a fun one to do.
Well, does the crowd do like kind of both parts whenever you repeat like the first and second verses and put them on top of each other? Are they like doing like both parts of it, or
some people do? You hear it out there. I mean,
that's
when
cool.
we played Furnace Fest was our last show that we've played a few years ago. We had no monitors for our entire set, so I just stood at the front of the stage and just let everybody else help, and it just kind of became like one big choir singing a lot of our songs. And we do a lot of like extra dropouts in our live set for that kind of thing because we all feed off of it.
Yeah,
totally.
There is I always kind of bring it up when we talk about the song, but there's just because it's weird, but that little single string part that goes into one of the verses, bum 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 bum. The only way I could ever remember it whenever we were writing it was going ba 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 ba.
Okay, that's what I heard when you just did it.
I love hearing that, Michael. That's incredible.
Now that's what I always hear.
Yeah, I mean the song's great. Lots of builds, lots of gaps, and like Adam said, when we play it live, we do a lot more dropouts and fill it with crowd vocals and stuff. I love playing it.
Well, and then you get that cool like little like almost like Circa Survive kind of bass like music part at like 202 where Cargill's doing some fun stuff on the bass, and you guys are just like holding that like the dissonant like going back and forth between. Down on the that's really cool. I imagine live because you can kind of hold that out as long as you need to go. Just
I think Crutch might have played bass on that one. That's the one he played bass on.
I think it's Ascension and Escape is what the booklet says, but you were there,
really.
So
this was one of the later songs, though. Yeah, that was written. I have a unique perspective on this because it was one of the later ones, and I had already kind of like almost parted ways. In fact, I think y'all might have even written a lot of this in the studio, maybe, I'm not sure, but the first time I didn't get to tour on the CD release, or I didn't play the CD release show or anything like that. I was in the crowd, and when this song played, it was like my first time hearing it, and it was, I don't know, it was such a cool thing to be on the other side, I guess. I definitely wanted to be on stage, but it was like I'd already made that decision. But yeah, this is one of those songs that just kind of like personally blew me away from being in the crowd, like watching my boys, on that CD release show. It was in October, 20 years ago. But yeah, cool song. I didn't have much to do with it.
So you can say that objectively because you're unbiased.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
I didn't write it, but I still like it. I'm kidding.
I love that.
Here's something most people don't know about this song. While it's probably one of my favorite songs that we've ever written, I hate the chorus to this song. If I could, I would rewrite it.
What do you not love about it, and what will you change?
Just the melody of it. I'm not saying I would like trash the whole thing. I just think that the melody could use
We'll punch up.
a sweetener, a punch up. That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you want it to be like hookier, kind of like how Oceans is?
I think there's a better melody in there. I think we wrote this song, like I said, we were writing a lot from a live perspective. I remember writing vocals and lyrics and melodies for this was really hard because we were touring. And maybe I brought this up last time too, but we were touring, we were playing with bigger amps, bigger cabs. Our live presence was louder. When we would practice, we were louder. We didn't have a great PA set, so I was always trying to compete with the music to try to hear myself back. And so I was just singing with more. I was loud, I was screaming more. I was singing higher notes because if I would have tried to sing something softer in practice, I would have never heard it, would never be able to tell if I liked it until we, got in the studio and recorded it. This was definitely written around that time when we, had just come off a tour and we're just thinking of live songs, basically. What would feel good live?
You could almost say that you wrote the vocal
Here we
part
go.
the night your guardian fell asleep.
I saw you gearing up.
I know. Hey, this is my job. I'm keeping things on track. Let's move on to track number 3, The Night Your Guardian Fell Asleep.
I'm just now realizing that even on the CD it says Guardian. I always thought it was Guardian Angel fell asleep, but
I did too.
Yeah, but on the CD it just says Guardian, and it's very weird.
I have no idea.
We always call it Guardian.
Oh, okay.
I love the way the drums just like jump so smoothly throughout this album, from the like halftime to like the blast
That
beats.
halftime hit so hard in the
It's
intro.
so smooth. Like every transition is just like innate. It feels like so natural, as if like the part could only ever have been written that way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
That was
hats
intentional.
off. Yeah, I
sure.
figured.
It wasn't. I mean, honestly, I think Nathan did a lot of that. I mean, Nathan was always one that like you could hear everybody's influence in every part. It was almost like where you could tell who wrote which part. And I think what Nathan did for us was help blend a lot of that, so it became like a cohesive sound. He helped us transition, like learn how to transition into choruses and learn how to transition into a bridge. Something that would change the song and it not just be another part that we throw in there. So to me, like he was really good at helping guide us in that direction as well.
Nice. Well, A+. No notes from this drummer.
No, also shout
On
out to
this
Jeremy.
podcast.
I feel like Jeremy does a really good job of making those big dynamic changes felt.
Yeah.
Jeremy is, I think I said this last time, Jeremy is one of the best drummers I've ever listened to from a rock perspective. And
Yeah. He's incredible.
I've been lucky enough since we were like 12 to be able to play with him, because he is very, very, very good.
He played so fast on that album. Like some of the BPMs on those songs are pretty outrageous. Like Guardian and Oceans are two of them. I mean, even Unrequited, like I feel like we probably slow that song down 20 BPMs for the live version of it, because
Oh, wow.
it's so much heavier live, but on the album, man, I mean, he's coming right out the gate, just like just 16th note kicks and just crushing them. And he played on Tommy Lee's kick drum on that whole album, and it's just this gigantic kick. So Jeremy playing so fast back then on that gigantic kick, just it made the album feel like a freaking what I would imagine a coke bender feels like. Just like it's like going from beginning to end.
No, he was so good. So, Jason, your rebuttal.
My rebuttal to my brother.
Yes. Why? Tell us all the reasons he was awful.
Yeah, make us hate him.
Oh man, I was gonna talk good about him.
No, please.
Yeah, I usually talk trash, but no, my uncle's a drummer, and he gave my brother his first drum set.
Oh, nice.
So funny story is like my dad and my uncle were in a band together back in like the 80s and 90s, like a blues jazz band, and so we were just around it all our life. But my uncle was an incredible drummer, and that's Jeremy's biggest influence, and so he gave him his first drum set, and that's what he played for a long time until he got new sponsors, whatever. But no, he's extremely creative. Like he honestly makes me write better just because. And in fact, I tell him constantly, like, "Hey, dude, send me drum beats. Like, give me some stuff to write on." And so it's so much easier to write when somebody is like giving you these like crazy unique ideas and like going smooth into he has such good ideas for transitions and just like it's just I'll say good things all day, but the worst thing about my brother is he's a mouth breather.
The worst.
The truth comes out.
Yeah, forget everything I ever said complimenting him. I take it all back.
Incredible drummer, but mouth breather.
But mouth breather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No coming back from that. That's rough.
Yeah.
I have two things left on this song. One, there's guest vox from David Bunton. Is he in the bridge?
I know him.
Is he just in the bridge?
Yeah, I think so.
I was listening. I was like, yeah, in the bridge on one side, it sounds like that was him.
Yeah, they popped into the studio and it just was like, "Hey, we need you on this song. Come do this for us." We wanted a guest vocal on one of the songs anyway. I think we had tried to get Dallas Taylor from
sweet.
from Maylene to come do somebody. He couldn't make it into Nashville, but the Showdown guys came through Nashville and hung out with us in the studio for a day, and Dave crushed some vocals for us.
That's what he does.
Sweet.
Yeah.
He's a pro.
He is.
Yeah.
He's got. And speaking of pro, I do want to shout out. We can bust on him a little bit, but I do have to acknowledge him here for Cargile's bass line at like 220-ish or whatever.
No, it's
I don't want to admit it, but it is pretty good.
It is.
I think this is the one that Clutch played on.
all right. Sorry, Cargile.
Maybe I'll consult my notes, but yeah,
should have been
I want to
here.
think it was Ascension that it said, but maybe it didn't. Maybe
I'm sure.
Does
I'm
it sound
sure
more like
you're
a
right.
crutch part? Does it sound like a crutch part to you?
That was Matt, I think.
I think that was Grogan.
That was
Yeah.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah, I think that
Cargile.
was Matt.
Well,
yeah.
great bass part.
Well,
Cargile, you ain't getting no credit.
No.
You should've shown up
I take it all
tonight.
back.
yeah, you should have shown up, man. I guess that's a taste of his own medicine.
There
Let's
it is.
move on to track number 4.
We'll be right back after these commercials.
A taste of your own medicine.
So, I got a question for you guys. How did y'all feel when Spencer and Aaron and all the guys from Under Oath called you and were like, "Hey, you guys made the album we should have made after They're Only Chasing Safety. We really messed up with Define the Great Line. It was a huge mistake. This is what we should have done, and we just want to know how you did it. We want to understand your thought process." How did y'all feel when they called you and told you that? Because I know they did. I know they did.
Yeah.
I just told him, "You snooze, you lose, bitches."
That's right. That's right. Damn straight. No, this is so cool, you guys, because like They're Only Chasing Safety was the album that I was like, I like Under Oath. And then they did all that other stuff, and like y'all, probably all 5 of y'all liked a lot of it. I had a lot of trouble with most of it because I'm just not a metal guy. I'm the cute little like folk boy over here on the podcast. What was so thrilling for me was because I didn't know this, like I knew Fiends, and going back and listening to this record, like I was like, oh, yes. It was just like
well, it's
across the board.
It's similar. Okay,
out of 10.
so peek behind the pop filter. The day we're recording this, we just released our episode on "And the Rest Will Follow" by Project 86, and in that episode, I called Project 86 29 Seconds to Mars because they did like the 30 Seconds to Mars thing just a little bit before. So, in a similar vein, I feel like I could call you guys Over Oath because you guys did the like define the great line thing a little bit before Under Oath did. You guys like took the poppy elements and you guys did that sort of like heavier thing just a little bit before.
When we went into the record, to do this record, we looked at each other and we said, "Guys, let's put out the next Under Oath record." And
You did it. You did it.
history was made.
Yeah, it was.
No, I mean we loved them. We definitely did. They're Only Chasing Safety was a humongous record. 2003. I mean, go back and look at the records that came out in 2003.
Yeah.
And that,
No, I know.
That's crazy.
Thrice, Artist in the Ambulance, Deja Into from Brand New. I mean, it just the list you will surprise yourself how many great albums came out that year, and They're Only Chasing Safety was literally at the top of that list, and so that was a great album.
It is interesting to me because like y'all did this one and then you did Fiends, which was a whole new direction, right, for y'all and your sound, and they did They're Only Chasing Safety, and then they went to Define the Great Line, and like I feel like y'all went very different directions, both really interesting departures from the previous albums that you both put out. And I love a band who, and I mean, to be real, I see you guys as peers and as people that were like in that scene at the time. And so like there's all these ideas that are a part of the cultural zeitgeist, and like some people are just meant to chase similar muses and like find their
some
own
are
way.
meant to chase victory.
And y'all chased victory.
I thought you were about to say safety.
Yeah, I know. Kyle usually beats me to the puns. Sometimes I outrun him, but no, the direction you went in and the direction they went in, it's kind of like it doesn't really matter where, like, what the right choice was or whatever from that place. But like, I love a band that's not afraid to continue exploring their sound and deepening and like broadening what they do. So big fan, and like it was really cool to see, like we were talking about earlier, the seeds of like some of the Fiends components taking shape here, and to also realize like, oh man, this album's a banger in its own right and in its own way, in a way that I didn't like foresee, because like I said, I just wasn't familiar with this one in the same way that like I really, really resonated with Fiends. But better late than never, I guess. 20 years, here we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think you bring up an interesting point though, because I actually think after Under Oath's success, and that style became very popular in the circles we were running in.
Right.
Even a lot of the metalcore bands were singing more and trying to bring a melodic sound to their heavier music.
Yep.
And I think we made a concerted effort on Fiends to say, let's bring back some of our 90s influence into what we're doing. And let's kind of take away some of that screamo, what is considered screamo quality, because we weren't crazy about that label. We didn't mind like what our songs sounded like, but we didn't like labels. Like you said you like bands that try to explore. We like to explore, and we don't want to be pigeonholed into doing something. We're okay if it works, but like we don't want to be known as that band. And Jason and I when I lived in Atlanta, Jason and I spent a tremendous amount of time writing like electronic music for a long time. And
Nice.
and I'm not saying it was something we wanted to release, but we just wanted to explore it. And it brought out so many new like melodies, and it ended up reviving our love of writing with each other, and, kicked off us writing more Chasing Victory songs. So, but back to your point, I think so many bands were going in that direction for Fiends, we were like, hey, that's great that we've kind of done this and planted ourselves in the scene. Let's do something else and see what
Yeah.
happens.
You
And,
followed something that was compelling to you, and it
Yeah.
happened to be a different direction. And y'all made a killer album with that one. So
thank you, man. The killer is me.
Ah,
Well, it is
God
you.
damn it. All right, yeah, track number 5.
He's too good.
Oh, beat me to it. Track number 5, The Killer Is Me.
This is where I feel like we start getting into some pretty poppy and major elements in the songwriting. Especially like on the second verse, where it's like, oh my God, I'm giving them the cute. Like that gets so poppy and major. But like the whole time, I feel like you guys are kind of like making the listener earn it still. Cause like the first half of the chorus is really driving and kind of abrasive before you guys open up into like the major part of it. So it's not like just giving people the very like, here's the super accessible song, but you're still like putting some abrasive parts in there.
I can really hear the Alanis Morissette.
You can hear it. You
in
can
this
hear it.
in this track in particular.
Yeah. Agreed.
So,
Mention that.
so the guys that know me and my personality, you would not think that this might be my favorite song to play live, just because it is poppy and there's not much heavy influence to the song. It is a phenomenal live crowd song.
Yeah.
It is. I love it live. Again, this is another one of those. It has a down chorus, and depending on how involved there, I just won't play, and the crowd will carry the song.
You could almost say you don't even need the guitars in the song.
Exactly. Yes.
Wow.
I'll just sing. No, I won't play at all.
That was a cut at you, Michael.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I love this song. I remember doing a lot of work on this song with our buddy Eric Chapman. He's kind of helped. I would say he's produced Chasing Victory a little bit. He's helped us demo a lot of songs. He's in our Chasing Victory chat group. I mean, that tells you how important he is to our just friendship. And Chasing Victory has always been bigger than just like 4 or 5 guys. Like it's always been a gang of dudes. Like a lot of us grew up together, and then we drove Chris and Crutch along in our little party. And but Eric Chapman helped us demo this song. He had a little recording studio at what was the name of that place? Student Life in Birmingham, Alabama. And he had a cool studio set up there, and we would go demo songs with him. And I remember this one specifically. We actually demoed this one there before we put it on the record. As a means of pre-production, like we wanted to figure this one out and get it ready for the record. It wasn't going to be just like a solo release or something. And I actually think we were kind of working on this song during the
This was the first one, I think.
Yeah, it was the first one. So it was like right after the EP.
Our album, this is the first one we wrote because we were playing it on the Rise of the Robots tour.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that rings a bell. Cool.
Yep. It's definitely, as far as guitar parts go, it's definitely a lot of palm muty, poppy feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the chorus is just like very, for lack of better words, emo. From a musical standpoint and lyrical standpoint, the melody is great.
I mean, I listened to a lot of Jimmy World back then. it bleeds a good bit with
bleeds American.
Yeah.
You son
I love
of a...
it. Everyone jumped. Everyone jumped on that joke. I love that. Oh man, well, recognizing that you're a little bit emo, or it's definitely the first steps to recovery. So let's move on to track number 6, First Steps to Recovery.
Pack your bags, here we come. Pack your bags, here he comes. Just come and take you away.
Was it Jason or Michael who got their first DD5 and was like, oh, dotted eighth on everything.
Oh, Jason.
It's Jason.
But my extent of effects on this record was I played an Ebo on Taste of Your Own
Nice.
Medicine versus.
Ah,
That was it.
Cool.
Just straight into the amp.
love an Ebo.
That's funny.
Josh,
So this-
how many times have I talked about Ebo
You talk
On
about
the-
it a lot.
on this podcast?
You talk about it a lot.
I know.
This one, a bit of credit to Matt Grogan. He taught me to tune my bottom string down to D instead of E, and that just kind of gave me some cool like little ideas. And that's kind of where this was the first song that I ever kind of like first little riff that I ever came up with in that tuning,
Nice.
and we just kind of ran with it. And yeah, definitely using like delay pedal there, and it was a different song the way we put it together. It was like unlike the rest, and because it was very much put together in the studio for one thing. And I don't remember a whole lot about all the details of like what was written and whatnot, but in fact I don't even know that I heard the vocals on it, because I'd left the studio before he began. I'd done
wow.
and I left the studio because I
Wild.
and like start the process of my next thing. So I heard it for the first time, like maybe on some like before the release, just some like demos that they had of the recording. So it was an interesting way to write this song, I guess. Starting out and then not even hearing the end of it.
The final product. Yeah, that's
Hope
crazy.
it turns out okay. Oh, I was going to ask because it sounds like it was kind of compiled from like, because you have those like, there's a lot of repeated parts in there, and it almost sounds like they're separate sections that then like you guys formed into like a cohesive song. Is like that's how it sounded to me, which is like a cool. I don't know if it was written that way, but
It was really two main parts. There was the verse, which is the picky part, and then the chorus, which is the delay part. And then it was a lot of me and Jeremy working together on that, coming up with like he came up with that cool ass drum beat especially for the chorus.
Yeah.
All
That is
the
sick.
like, clicks and stuff, and I mean he just
Mhm.
really kind of just showed out and got really technical with it. It was fun, but I like the delay and like what he was doing on the drums. It was just, I don't know, it was just kind of cool, and I didn't know where it was going to go after that. So,
Wow, that's
kinda
so
took-
cool. You just kind of like
Yeah.
made those parts, and then
Let
you
go.
were done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just trusted
yeah.
the process.
Yeah, well, I mean, Adam rarely misses. I knew he would do his thing, and he may have even all the guys kind of contributed to the last, the structure of it, how it, ended up. But the vocals were, yeah, it was cool to hear it for the first time.
yeah, and I like where it comes on the record too. Kind of like
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
nice down moment
yeah.
to kind of give you.
You
the
need
chance
this
to
kind of
breathe.
moment at this point in the record.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little time to breathe.
Yeah, it's such a
Nice.
fast record. It does break it up well.
A lot of people say that, yeah.
Yep.
I personally think it's the best song on the record musically. I think, the first time I heard it, I was like, how are we going to put this on a Jason Victory record? This is so much better than everything else we've done. Like,
Oh, wow.
how am I? And Jason, you remember correctly because I had not written vocals for it completely. I think I'd written part of it maybe, and I do remember us writing this a little bit in my dad's attic. And it just, the song intimidated me from the beginning because it was so well done. Jeremy's drum parts were so good from the beginning. And Jason's guitar parts, they mesh so well. And it just, I don't know. I've always like revered this song. I don't love what I sang on this song. I don't love it, but I love listening to this song just for the music of it. And like I would say, like when people meet Jeremy and their drummers, this song is the first thing they bring up every time. Every
Yeah.
time I've seen a drummer talk to Jeremy, like they're a fan of his, it's because of this song.
That tracks.
And I think it's well deserved because some of the most creative drum parts on anything we've ever written is on this one song.
Yeah,
It's true.
man. Okay, so I do have a question for everybody.
Get my pun blockers on.
Do you think you could give a percentage of, because, okay, I've heard it mentioned multiple times in multiple different locations. How much of this record was written in attics? I mean, we've had like 8 attic references at this point. So
Well, we
what,
only
like
had one attic that we wrote
60,
in, right?
60, 70% of this album?
We wrote at Adam's house. And,
Attics versus basements. What's the
There's
percentage
no
there?
basements in South Georgia.
it wasn't like the attic.
Southside's early basement, we did write some in there.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So at Adam's dad's house, he had a garage that had like a bonus room over the garage that was finished out.
I would count
And
that.
when we first
as
started
an
I would
practicing,
say that's an attic. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, when we
I would
first-
count that as an attic.
so when we first started playing, it was not finished out, and it was like a plywood floor that they threw on the trusses. So it was very much an attic feel there. But
Okay.
once he finished it out, threw some sheetrock in there, actually gave us an air conditioner. It would have been considered a bonus room, but it was always the attic
Okay. So
because of its
what are you
origin.
thinking, like 60, 70%?
No, I would say.
60-70% was written at the church.
Okay.
You think so? I would say maybe 25% was written in that,
In
because
the attic.
we
Okay.
also got to think, because we also got to think about the timeline. So
Right.
At least
We had been
12% was
touring at that
written at
time.
your house.
yes,
I love these percentages. I don't know why I'm drilling down on it.
You really want to get to
Yeah.
the bottom of
I
Well,
it.
think Josh
so-
and I are over here
I'm
just
not-
like, what are we doing right
I'm
now?
trying to pull a Josh, and I'm not good at it.
Josh does
So-
Josh.
so
No,
the
I
real
know.
question
Pretty good
would
at
be,
Josh.
Get the attic to church ratio here.
I know.
right now we're at 60% the church,
Okay.
25% the attic, so 85, 12%
85.
my house. So,
So
the other
3%
3%.
is just in the
Dantzler's
wild.
house.
In the ether.
The 12% that was written at your house was what I wrote about your mom.
Ah, yes.
Ah, there we go.
It all makes sense. Well, speaking
Sorry.
of
Was that
mom,
Speaking of moms,
Was that pre her empty nest syndrome or post?
we were all
damn
on
it.
it.
All right, I know we
We're
were.
all
All
on
right,
it.
track number 7, pre-empty nest syndrome.
Tell me a mother's tender heart stood out for her children.
This is my favorite song on the.
Oh, really?
Oh, this is a heavy one, TJ.
I know, but the chorus
this
is
song is
actually
very
pretty
heavy.
like anthemic and melodic. So I think that's what
And
really
emo.
locked in for me. And emo. Yeah, you're right, Michael.
It's emo in a hard, heavy way.
Yeah. I just love, especially there's a moment at like 250, I think, where the chorus, and I would love to hear about this, like how y'all achieved this, or whether it was like a production technique, or if you tracked it this way. But there's the moment where the vocal just kind of zooms way out and is like in this cavernous space, like way far off, and Jeremy is just going to town. I mean, he is
Yeah.
just wailing, and like in the most technically proficient but also animalistic way. It's just insane. He's a
Mhm.
monster. That might be my favorite drum moment on the record. And the way the chorus loops over it, kind of like cycles over it, but zooms out away from the listener, like you're sort of being sucked into the void or something, or Adam
Mhm.
is maybe. So yeah, I don't know if y'all remember tracking that vocal part in a certain way that achieved that effect, but at the end of that song, the way it just like zooms away, it's really
Well, I'm not 100% sure, and I hope I don't disappoint you when I say this, but I think that was a happy accident. I think that we had a struggle to write an ending for that song. And we were like, let's just do something kind of eclectic. Like, let's just go crazy fading this thing out. and because of the order of things, this is how I remember it: is drums were done, and then the guitars were done, and I remember thinking like, the guitars are chaotic. What am I supposed to do at the end of this?
Mhm.
And so the song is very emotional, like lyrically, and so we
Yeah.
just like fed off of that. And I think Danzler was just like, just roll with it, just go like crazy on the end. Jeremy went crazy, the guitars went crazy, and I just followed the guys.
I mean, it works. Sometimes, like, that's that moment in the studio, right, where you're like, you're coming up empty. You have to create a like problem solve a little bit, and you came up with something that I think, for at least on a listener level, is gold. Even if it to you feels more like shruggy or like canned, like to me it feels very
Awesome.
inspired and
Well, thank you.
compelling.
And I agree with you. Like I think sometimes like you just have to like roll with what the song is feeling, and it may not be
Right.
a verse, chorus, bridge, and bring in the chorus again. It may be something different. And a lot of those songs, I know that word emo is kind of thrown around as just a genre, but a lot of those songs were kind of emotional. Like
Emotional, yeah.
I was an emotional ass kid.
Yeah.
I don't know
This
why.
song this song definitely contributed to my hearing loss. Was definitely this song.
Believe that, Michael.
Because on that
That tracks.
that bridge, the dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
I remember talking about this last time. I think we turned the amps on like 11, and I got in the tracking room, like in the room with the cab, and the room was like Dancler's closet, and of course I wasn't wearing anything, and I was just making all kind of crazy noises and trying to attempt to play to a click track so I could actually play the real part. But that's where all the crazy feedback and the high pitched squeals and all is all real and in a take with the actual rhythm.
Nice.
That's sweet.
That's what we call commitment.
Just a
Right
cool 130 dBs in that closet.
Yeah, no big deal.
No, that's what we call mediocrity.
Yeah. Well, you know what? At least while you were doing that, you
Here
also
we
had
go.
suspects, alibis, and partners in crime. So let's move on to track number 8: suspects, alibis, and partners in crime.
This is my favorite song on the record.
Hey, nice, Josh.
It is.
Back to
That
back.
it is. It's arguably maybe the most successful song on the record, but that chorus melody is so catchy. The verses are catchy too.
Yeah.
The guitar work on the chorus feels very Tepe from like circa Artisan Ambulance. Like it's so good.
The funny thing about this song is I don't even remember what I played. I just remember Jason's part. So today when I pick up a guitar, I just go dun, 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 dun. I'm like, it's fun to play, and it's a cool part.
It is a great part.
No.
Yes.
It really so Jason, I want to throw it to you specifically, because you talked about like around recording this entire album, you sort of had started to move on. I would love to get maybe like a couple of personal anecdotes from you about like making this record. I know you've talked about it as well, of like then seeing like some of the songs live. I would just like to talk about your experience of like being in the band, writing some of the stuff, moving on, seeing some of the stuff live, seeing the record come out, like how you felt about some of that stuff.
Yeah. Honestly, it wasn't easy. I felt like I was doing the right thing, but it was very, very difficult to watch them live and not be on stage. That was
Yeah. It's good.
it
Of
was,
course.
and it was one of the biggest, most epic, like kind of CD release shows. Our hometown, packed out, and just to hear everybody like singing, it was so surreal and it's so cool. And, but also like, damn.
Right. Yeah.
So, I don't like, it's not like a regretful decision by any means. It was just one night that it like really hit me the most. Um, but yeah, I mean, I wanted to be on the journey I was on, with school. I'm very passionate about like education, and I really always loved school. And so, I knew it was something that I would want to do. And, but yeah, I mean, it was tough. Like I had I missed it a ton. But the following summer, I ended up going back on tour, and that was like a really awesome thing to do. That was like, I remember being it was the time of my life.
Sounds like a redemption arc to me.
Yeah,
Let's go.
yeah. I mean, unfortunately, Mike's dad passed away, and he took that summer to be with his family, and so I came back to fill in, and it was it was beautiful. I loved like it just kind of made me realize I had so much more perspective, like what I missed, and
Yeah.
being back out there was just like I was so present and just so like I wanted to savor every little moment. It was really it was a few months, and I came back, went back to school, but yeah, it was tough. It was tough watching them.
Yeah. No, for sure.
But
I
how
get that.
special that you were able to step back in a way
Especially-
that also helped
yeah.
Michael like spend time with family, grieve, like do everything. I'm sure you felt a pull to be present and move through that season of life in the way that you needed to, but also support the band. So Jason, like, it sounds kind of like a less than ideal situation, but like a lemonade out of lemons kind of
That was tough for all of us.
situation.
That year. That was tough. We were all very close to Mike's dad, and so, but timing wise, it was as far as like just being in the summer, I was able to like do it. They asked me.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was no question. I dropped everything. I didn't take any summer classes. I told my job I was gonna be gone for a while. Yeah.
Was that Stretch Armstrong that we were touring with?
Yeah, that was Stretch.
Wow.
That was
a great
also
tour.
That was Cornerstone,
yep,
Illinois as well.
Cornerstone, Illinois.
Mike
That was
did.
also the first time that we played with 3 guitars.
Yeah, I was going to mention that.
Mhm.
So that was cool.
Eat your heart out, beloved.
And I didn't think about it until now, but I guess it really kind of shaped Chasing Victory as we know it today. Because I don't know why we didn't think about doing 3 guitars prior to that. Like, why was that not a
Right.
thing?
I think Jason had shown some interest in like he was having so much fun on tour, and we started talking about the aspect of 3 guitars. And I think Cargill admitted to us later he was worried we were going to kick him out of the band and bring Jason back in.
Boy. No, it's the 3 guitars. I mean, the albums that we're listening to now obviously don't have 3 guitar parts, so it's only because we just want to be together playing. But the new stuff we're writing is kind of fresh with all 3 perspectives, so it's going to sound more like a 3 guitar band. But yeah, back then, like we're playing these songs now on stage, and like 2 of us are playing the same thing, so it's just like we just want
The
to be
left
on
and right. Yeah, it's fine.
whatever.
There's always more you can add live.
Yeah.
Let's go around with it.
That's great.
Yeah.
Man, sounds like great partners in crime.
Yep. It sounds like we got.
I do want to talk about the song just a little more. It's my favorite song.
It's his favorite song, Kyle.
Fine.
It is.
Fine.
I know. I do just
Okay.
want to mention one thing, similar to how Michael mentioned the Barbara Ann part of it. The very last hits of this song,
ESPN.
ESPN. Yes, I'm
That's
glad
awesome.
I'm not alone there.
Da-da-da, da-da-da.
It's funny that you like this song that much, because I'll like randomly get text messages from people, or like a Facebook message or Instagram message or whatever, of like people that we knew way back then. I don't have their phone numbers anymore or something like that. and they'll just send me a picture of suspects, alibis, and partners in crime on their screen on their car. Yeah, I think this
that's
song was
so
a lot
funny.
bigger than we would have ever realized, because I get those randomly.
Oh, I love that.
But it's a good song. And yes, we actually called it ESPN forever.
We did.
That's awesome.
That's incredible.
I think it's the most underrated song on the album. It's
I agree.
big chorus, big verses. The ending freaking rocks. I think Grogan helped write that ending.
Mhm.
And actually, that was kind of like our first. To me, that felt like our first like dipping our toes into the water of like bringing 90s feeling riffs into more of the heavy style that we were doing.
Yeah.
I remember that course being the first time I was like, ooh, that might be a cool thing for us to really explore more.
Like suspects, alibis, partners of crime, fiends, perhaps. See where you're going. Yeah.
People used to think this song, what do they say, Michael? Something salads, and they always misunderstood the lyrics to the song. I'm like, it's literally in the title of the song. They
Yeah.
would, what are you saying in the chorus? It's like something salad, sandwiches, salads, and I don't know.
Oh, I don't hate that, if I'm being honest, but I'm just trying to stay true to myself on this
I
show.
could go for a couple of those right now.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you know what? I'm glad through all of this we got the real version of you. So let's move on to track number 9, the real version of you. I love a hard pan guitar intro.
You said this was a Cargyle song that started out as?
Yes.
Right there, yeah.
All right, we got to give him some credit. I
At the
I didn't know
Strickland
that.
house.
That changes my whole opinion. Okay, it's fine.
Guys, written at the Strickland house. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
I want to say this. Oh yeah, fudge brownies.
Fudge brownies, bro.
I remember. Was this was when we were all pretty into acceptance at the time too?
Ooh.
Phantoms came out,
Yeah.
Phantoms just re-released, guys. It's pretty dope.
Yeah,
They did.
yeah. And
What do you think about it, Kylan?
No, I've been texting with Josh about this all day. I have a whole chunk planned for our end of year. So at the end of every year, we do a Patreon exclusive episode about our top 10 favorite albums of the year. And I have a whole chunk planned about re-recordings of albums.
I can't wait.
And I'll save it for that. There are some really great moments on the Phantoms re-recording.
I love the song they did with Teddy Swims.
It was good.
actually-
I did like that.
I'm not a huge fan of Teddy Swim,
I'm
but
not
I thought
either,
it sounded
but-
cool.
Yeah, I did enjoy it.
And they had both singers of Amber Lynn on songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steven and Maddie.
Yeah, old Maddie.
But listen, we're not here to talk about re-recordings. I'm here to get the real version of you.
I want to talk about the
about-
acceptance record.
I know, I can tell.
Adam's just hijacking the podcast. Okay.
No, real version of you, bro. That's Cargyle, man. That was him bringing his touch to the band. Just he was so worried. Like I remember showing up to this practice. Him and Jason and Michael, I think, had been working on this song, and I remember showing up to the practice, and he was so worried I was gonna hate it. It was the first thing he had contributed to the band.
Oh,
And I was blown away. I always loved Cargile's writing, even when he was in Ascension and
Ascension and Escape.
which is the next song. I loved his songwriting, and so when he finally contributed a song to the band, I was ecstatic. Like, and it was so good. I mean, it was just such a beautiful melody and a cool rhythm, and it led to all these cool guitar leads. And yeah, I love this song.
If I remember right, I think this was the second song that we wrote. I can't remember what I said was the first, but this was, and yeah, it was right when Cargill came to the band. It was like our first practice with him, and he was just like, "Here's something that a riff that I've been working on," and immediately we're just like, "Yeah, we got to run with that. That's awesome." And I think we wrote that in one night. I mean, it was fast.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
We just we really poured it, poured on it, and it was, yeah, it happened really, really quick. But yeah, Cargill was the one that one. That was,
Yeah. Well, and having this back to back with Suspects is like having like two kind of like super catchy songs in the back half of the record is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because on Fiends, we got Oceans and Oceans 2, and then some other stuff going on right now. But I always paired the real version of You and Brides together. Like it could almost be like Brides could be the sequel.
Mm. I like that.
That's cool.
They just feel very they feel very familiar with each other to me.
Yeah, I feel that. This song also had an alternate name, but I'm not going to say it.
Wait, what? Why?
Oh,
No,
I remember
just,
the alternate name of this one.
Well,
tell
it's
us the
a
alternate
person's
name.
name, and I don't want to call them out because that was a lifetime ago.
We'll bleep it. That's fine.
No, we won't. No,
you
no,
won't.
Josh, shut up. Shut up. No, you got to tell us now.
It was called Murmur My Mom.
I named it after. It was named after Michael's mom. It was about a really passionate summer affair that we had.
Wow. Okay.
You made me spill the beans.
Yeah. This is why we do the show. This is the beauty of this podcast, guys.
It's still a really raw wound, and I really don't appreciate you ripping the Band-Aid off.
Well,
in the middle
you know
of the
what?
podcast.
I do appreciate that you're able to work through that story, and I appreciate your ascension and escape from that. So let's move on to track number 10, Ascension and Escape.
Is this Cargill said this was named after, is this a Hopesfall song or it's a song from someone? Right?
It was named after Cargill's band that he was in before Chasing Victory.
Okay, I thought he said
that's
he
what
named
you were
it after another song.
That's what you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, he was in a band called Ascension and Escape with Jeremy, who is in with Blood Comes Cleansing, Michael Sasser, who was also in Blood Comes Cleansing, Dennis Frazier. No, I'm
Dennis
sorry.
wasn't in there. Yeah,
John
You're thinking
was the
about
bass
Cliff.
player. Cliff.
You're thinking about Cliff. Yeah.
Cliff was in. He's in a band with Michael Sasser now. I can't remember what they're called.
Ludacris 2.
Ludacris 2. No, we ran in a circle with a bunch of guys from Auburn, Opelika, Columbus, Birmingham, kind of like that Alabama, Georgia line area. And Chris was in that band, and we had a really big following in Opelika and Columbus. There was some great venues there, and it was close for us. We could pop over there in an hour and 45 minutes and play a great show. There was a little church there that put on shows. There was a venue in Columbus that was amazing, ran by this cool lady named Raven. Wasn't that her name?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the core, and she just really created this cool scene in this little random pocket of the South. And so yeah, Ascension and Escape was just an influence on me from a bro perspective, just broing out with other bands and stuff like that. But I'll be honest, I don't remember this song at all. I don't think I can tell you one thing about this song other than the name of it.
I want to say we recorded we finished writing this in the studio.
yeah.
Well, this is the one that it says Crutch has credits for, so I was wondering if this was one of the last songs to come together.
That sounds right. Yeah. I always get this one and Preemptiness mixed up. I'm terrible.
too.
Yeah.
I just think they
I'm
became
awful.
songs that we ended up not playing live very, very often. After we were just kind of opening for a lot of bands. So we had 25, 30-minute sets. We would cram in 1 or 2 songs off our EP and then like the first 4 tracks off of this, and boom, we were done. And so we just didn't get around to playing some of these songs live very often. And I'll be honest, I just have forgotten about this song until you just played it just now.
Nice.
I'm going to go listen to it right now after we get off this thing, though.
You should. You should.
No, it's good. I like having a heavier song to kind of close out that part of the album before we kind of bring it down for the end.
All right, gentlemen, we have done it. It comes down to this. I hope that whatever you have to say about this last song, you can speak easy. We're going to do track number 11, the last track. Speak Easy.
I love the ambient electronic closer move.
Yeah, it was really cool to have Phil Collins in the studio with us for this
I
one.
bet.
Yeah.
That must have been incredible. He clearly had a lot of good ideas for you guys.
So we actually wrote this song with the Evan Anthem. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that band.
We are.
Their guitar player wrote a lot of this song, and he sent it to me. He actually sent me a couple of songs and just kind of asked me like what inspired me. And it was the first time we'd ever collabed with somebody like that before. I would have loved to get to do it more often. We didn't do much of this after that, but it was really cool. Like he brought this really cool song in, and we kind of played with the structure a little bit. We played with the and then he left, and then we just kind of finished the song. Are they actually credited on the album?
Yeah, it's Matt Miller,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it just says it was programming bass and guitar by Matt Miller.
And I'm sorry I called
those
him
drums
the
and
guitar
stuff.
player, but I told you guys I'm terrible with names.
Yeah.
I barely remember Jason and Michael's name most of the time.
Hey, remember,
That's fair.
I'm Kylan. This is Josh and TJ. You're on Church James now. You're in a safe space.
Well, your
It's
names
okay.
are on the screen, so it's easy now.
Oh, wow.
But
Okay, cool.
as soon as that goes away, I'm going to forget immediately.
Adam's just
That's fine.
the real version of 10-second Tom.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He's going to call us all those nice guitar players from the podcast.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would take it. I'd take it.
I would
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, it was cool learning that he kind of like co-wrote or like started this song with y'all, and then like y'all finished it, because it's funny because the parallel obviously goes to Some Will Seek Forgiveness, where Aaron Marsh wrote the beginning of that song, and then Underoath took the second half of it and
Took it and
finished it
ran.
there. So it's kind of cool that like there's that comparison once again
That's
to
very
close
Yeah,
out the
I mean,
record.
I like that.
Again, we were trying to do that Under Oath Part 2, man.
I
We
mean,
wanted to ride that
Norma
record.
Jean did it on Redeemer as like a
Yeah.
similar no passenger, no parasite situation. So it
All
was
these
just
big bands just copied us. Actually,
everyone just wanted to
I
kind
think
of
so.
your heavy
Like,
record
I
to
think
bring
so,
it down
Michael.
for the last track.
Legitimately, I do think so.
Yeah, I believe it.
Okay. Usually at this part in the show, we give our incredibly reductive flop or bop verdicts on the album. But we've learned at this point, people don't really care what we have to say. So I would love to give you guys an opportunity, now that this album is 20 freaking years old, to talk about how you feel about it now.
I could just say that it's really cool to hear like other people talk to us about it, you know, and just their like how much they like it. Or what's funny is I posted an Instagram post several weeks ago because I was just searching for Chasing Victory graphics because I wanted to put together a post, and I came across this album on Amazon, and it had this horrible 1-star review. Anyway, I posted it, and it was a flood of people just kind of defending.
Nice.
Yeah.
It was just like a rush of opinions that I haven't heard in a very long time. And people got really deep in kind of telling what it really meant to them. And like, and we've heard a lot of stories, just redemptive stories of just people that the music meant a lot to them. and they had their own story, and it was just kind of it's always nice. It's always cool to hear that, something we did kind of made an impact. And so I don't know, that's kind of what I think about it first is, I love that it meant something to a lot of people. So it's pretty
Yep.
cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Thinking back on the timeline of everything going on, like I said earlier, I was 18. I think Jason was 17. It was also the first thing from front to back that we wrote and recorded. That was like, I didn't come away going, really wish we would have done this, or I wish we would have done that.
Right.
Now, is every part perfect? No, but I don't regret any part. I guess would be a good
Yeah.
thing.
That's a big deal, man.
Yeah.
I mean that's something that like the three of us have had conversations about that like on the podcast, and then just like personally, like I love the idea of an album is a time capsule,
Mm-hmm.
and it is like really freaking cool to be able to like go back and even if like the perfectionist artist part of your brain is like, oh shit, like I didn't play that part perfectly. It's like, no, it's really cool that now I have a map of like where I was at this specific point in time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cool that you guys got this opportunity to like share that with a ton of people that now also have their own memories of this album.
I think Adam kind of hit it on the head earlier too. With during this time were touring very hard, and it was our first bit of like real touring for like the whatever 10 months prior to recording this. And so, a lot of the songs are written with a live intent. And I think that comes across. And I think that's what resonates with people about this record, especially the ones that have seen us live, and especially the ones that have seen us live in that era. Taylor Swift reference, in that era of our lives. That I think people cling to it because it's such a fast, heavy, live feel. And I love that, as you could, I was talking about my influences or what I loved at the time and still love, but it's just very crowd and live oriented.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an accomplishment to create a record that can both be like technically pretty dialed in and have those elements that are heavy and melodic and come across as songs that rip live and feel very present like that. So I think you crushed it, guys. 20 years on.
Controversial take from here at Church Hymns Now headquarters. This is a good record.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Pretty good.
Pretty spicy take.
All right, Adam, your rebuttal.
It's starting to grow on me.
Oh, good.
That's good.
I'm glad.
I love that.
Around.
Nah, honestly, guys, I can't look at it objectively. I mean, everything about the songs bring up memories and the best memories of my life. So, even more so than my kids. Screw them,
Them kids.
That's it, dude. That was it. We can finish the podcast now.
Yeah, end the podcast right there. Screw them. Boom. It's over.
Let's make another record.
No, I mean, everything the guy said. It was a great experience. It was a once in a lifetime chance to get to do something like that led to this unique career path that we took for several years that led to us traveling the country and Canada and playing with amazing bands and playing with terrible bands and playing amazing venues and playing terrible venues and sleeping in a van with your best bros, and camping out and doing all the crazy stuff we did for 3 years, getting to travel and here, still to this day, it freaks me out that people sing our words back to us
Especially in
and
Portuguese.
in Portuguese. And no, I mean it's an amazing experience, and so I can't really listen to the album objectively because I see everything we did in putting it together, but I love the record and I still do. And the guys know this about me. I'm probably the biggest critic of my own voice, and so going back and listening to my voice from 20 years ago, it it used to bother me a lot. Like I was, man, I wish I didn't do this, or I wish I would have sang differently like this. But now I'm in a place where I can just listen to it and it just brings up nothing but amazing memories of writing it and recording it and then touring on it and still getting to play those songs today, like when we do shows. And maybe this is a good time to drop some information, Jason.
Please. Do it. Do it.
Yes.
Yes.
So we're actually going to be releasing Unrequited Love Part 2 very soon.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. So we like to do
Dude.
sequels. And we have been writing quite a bit of music lately and just recorded a couple of songs. Am I saying too much?
No. I was just saying it won't be the last single. We're releasing a single planning next month and another one before the end of the year.
Sick.
And
Hell
hopefully
yeah.
we would like to get back in the studio in January. So we have a lot of creativity that built up in us over the years that we're trying to just get
Huge out there.
Launch. Yeah.
Yes.
Dude,
We're doing the best.
love
We're
that.
doing the best we can. Unfortunately, we don't live, in the same city anymore like we did with our kids. But we have our.
But AI writes great songs
Oh
that
my
we can
God.
pass
Oh
off
my
as ours,
God.
so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, anything's better than
That's the
Cargyle.
real you.
So
Right, Adam?
Poor guy.
I know. I
He's
feel
really
like I
taking
am,
a beating for not being here.
I know he should have been here.
It's just because we miss him so much.
It
I
is.
know.
He asked who is going to take his place in telling racist jokes this time.
Oh, don't worry.
No.
We cut all of that from the main feed. That's all just saved for the Patreon. Sweet. That is awesome. Okay. I think we have to wrap it up around here, right? Around the Cargyle is racist, but not
That's
as
how we
racist
want to end
as
it. Yeah.
they
That's what we
are.
want
But Chasing
everyone.
Victory is
that's-
releasing
we
new
want
music
everyone to have
soon.
that as their last thought.
No, I feel like the real fans will get it. Guys, I'm so excited y'all are doing new music.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
And
Are there any other sequels that are coming out, or is it? Can you spill the beans?
Maybe.
Or
We'll see.
okay.
Right now,
all right.
we just felt inspired to write a sequel to Unrequited Love Part. Or it's I say it's a sequel. The song is just it has lyrically it feels the same. A story about that love that is one sided and not
right.
requited. So yeah, I don't know if that's a word. Is requited a word?
I don't know.
Requited has
That's
to
a
be.
Gotta
good
be.
question.
It has to be. So, anyways, yeah. So we're not gonna miss that branding opportunity, and so we put a sequel on that one, and then we also have another song coming out too. So I'm extremely pumped about it. To me, it feels. The reason I brought it up is not just to promote what we got coming out, but it makes me feel like Abandonment all over again because it's all of us
Nice.
together putting out music, just putting in our touches and doing what we do. All six of us together. So it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I would say too that it's just for just a little nugget. I mean, when I came home from recording those 4 days or whatever, I was like, as soon as I had like a copy of it of some kind, I immediately like showed it to my wife, and I was like, this is the best stuff we've written in a long time. I'm very excited about it.
I love that.
It's really good.
So, guys, is there anywhere where people that are listening to this can like follow you for updates on this? Like, where do you want people to?
Got an email list?
You've got to be on MySpace, so
Okay.
Perfect.
Do you guys have a Zanga? Yeah. Where should people get updates from y'all?
Yeah, Instagram is where we spend most of our time. It's Chasing Victory Band. I'm sorry, Chasing Victory Official Band.
Oh, okay.
A Chasing Victory Official Band, and then yes, we have a email list. You could sign up at chasingvictory2025.com, and that's gonna we'll be emailing out major updates stuff like that. But Instagram is where we like to post. Maybe I'll get on TikTok soon, but
Good luck,
we'll
brother.
do it.
Okay, sweet. I think that's going to do it from us. If you enjoyed this, we have more nonsense like it at our Patreon at patreon.com/churchgymsnowpodcast. Of course, from all of us here, may all your favorite bands stay together. Peace out, Mon Frères.
Kylan, I call this abandonment.